I am live and I'm late. I'm a couple minutes late here, and let me look. Let's see. It doesn't tell me. Hi, everybody. Okay, Carla's on her way. So I've got messages. I asked people if they would come on with me at the last minute, but people are busy. Darn, but that's okay. If I have to, I'm going to be doing readings. How's that? So let me get back to you guys and we'll propagate that and this and get some people coming. But I'm going to set up just in case I need to do some readings. Because when she said, I don't know if I'm going to make it, well, that's fine. I could do free readings. Works for me. Hi, Ethan. How are you? I'm waiting for Carla and we're going to, usually this is paranormal talk, but I'm setting up for readings just in case. We'll let some people come in. I've got my Pinkie Pie mug. With water. I'm not having that bad soda because everybody yells at me. How are you, Ethan? What's up? It's you and me. I do have some guests coming on next week. We have Kathy Milanowski and forgive me, I'll have to look up her name. She's bringing on a guest to talk about tarot. So that's going to be fun. Yeah, I have so many people. Like I have this lady that paints messages, and I have lots of people. And I go, things have just been crazy for me for about a month. And I go, gosh, I need time to have them all be on. So and schedule them. So I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. But I did bring my pretty rings. And because I kind of want to talk about just a couple minutes, just to have some kind of talk, and hopefully Carla will be here. I have a green amethyst ring, which is really nice, and then I have a blue topaz. So, we all like to have crystals around, even if they're cut, they're faceted and stuff. It still gives you, has good energy. So, hi Jessica, how are you doing? So green amethyst, I thought that was so neat because I really didn't, think of it as being green. We always think as purple, but it really is connects you to your higher self, which is really cool. And topaz, of course, is a very healing stone, one that can bring in joy, generosity, abundance, good health, things like that. But it recharges you. So we always need to be recharged. So it's so neat. So I got my blue one. And they're not very expensive, you guys. This one is green amethyst. It's not real green because they heat treat them to get them colored. So this one's probably heat treated. It's very blue. Hi, Linnell. How are you? Yeah, topaz is really neat. I always thought it was just yellow. Hi, Cathis. How are you? Any of the people that won prizes, they are mailed off. They are in the mail. Either you got an Amazon code or I see Carla's here. She's getting set up. An Amazon code, a t-shirt, necklace. And I still have necklace left and a t-shirt left. Nice and soft and really cool. And just give me a thumbs up when you're ready. She's got Carla's, I figured she'll have the Palo Santo out. I had it today out. We just got to do that once in a while. Go outside and light the little Palo Santo stick or some sage and just get it going, And we need to do that in our yards. And if you go back and look at my protection video that I did, I've done a couple. They tell you from the front of your house to your backyard what you should be doing to clear, cleanse, bless, and ward your house for sure. Jessica, I'm going to get Carla on today. Today is always paranormal talk, but I set up for readings because just in case. And anyway, she's doing the Palo Santo, just getting that going. So anyway, tomorrow is free readings hour, 6:30 p.m. Pacific, and then I do free readings on Friday, and Carla will do her show Saturdays at 10 a.m. Pacific time. And I'm going to start throwing in half-hour shows. I'll do some on YouTube, and I will be just YouTube, and I'll be doing some on Facebook and YouTube. So we'll have some new stuff happening where you have the opportunity to come in. Then I hope to start doing ones where if you need a real full reading, that I can do a full reading for you for free during the week. So I'm going to try to do that because when we do the when we do the readings, it's a fast thing. We do a reading, we give you whatever. So it's 2, 3, 4 times the cards, so we can get more and more stuff for sure. But I'm hoping that's all coming up. Working on it. So it looks like Carla's almost ready. She's ready? I got a thumbs up. Let's bring her in. And there's my partner.
Hello, hello.
Hi. Hello. We have such short time to ever connect anymore because we're, everybody's so busy and work and all of that. Absolutely. And it's tough. We try to get a couple minutes to say, hi, what are we going to talk about? What are we doing? That type of thing. So, and it's fine. It's good. It's good to be busy. That's for sure.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I'm good. We're good. I just got my car fixed, so I'm 110% good.
Oh, good. Yes, I was telling everybody, you haven't seen it, but I talked about the green amethyst ring that I got. It's kind of like if your husband gives you this, you go out and go, I deserve this.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. You know what?
I did get it. I did get this. Yeah. It's got a couple little diamonds. And we were just talking about the properties of green amethyst. And then, of course, I'm wearing my big blue topaz today.
I love that. Love it. Good
stuff. So we've got really good energy going here with
that. Absolutely.
And good stuff. Yeah. But anyway, we were talking about that. I had set up to do readings just in case, but I do have something I want to tell you about because I talked to you guys about manifesting little things and big things. So you guys, my husband, I manifested, and also a Camaro. But I manifest little things because I need them. I want them. I say, come on, bring it in. And this is so funny. And I'm going to put the pictures on Facebook. But I had a picture. I was going through old pictures and deleting, and I had a picture of last year or year before, I think, of getting a strawberry that was this big.
Oh, wow.
This big. I holding it in my hand, and it was ripe and perfect and yummy. I took a picture because nobody in the family ever saw a strawberry that big.
I've never.
And during COVID, I just gave up on getting berries because I can't. They're no good.
Yeah.
They're moldy, they're good for a day, or they're not good, and I go, or they're little, and I go, I just can't. And I'm somebody who ate 2 salads every day and had from a salad bar, and I had my berries. They're so good for you. So I put it out there. I want a berry like that again. I want a berry like that again. I've gotten strawberries during this year, and they're like white all over the top. And I go, what are they gassing it? What are they doing to make it ripen so fast? And so I've been disappointed, but I saw that they were on sale, and I go, well, even if I get 3 or 4 berries out of it, whatever. Yeah. And I went out and got it, and are you kidding me? I opened it up, and there was a berry, all perfect and this big.
Oh
And I
my.
was like, oh my goodness. So I took a picture of it and then I ate it. And it was, really because the fact is that I put that out to the universe. I want a berry that big. Like I've never seen berries this big.
Yeah.
And I just go, I want that to come. And just like the one that I have in this picture, and it did within like 2 days that strawberry came to me. And yes, Kathis, aren't they awful? They're picking
Yeah.
everything. They were so crazy to get food to everybody that they picked the stuff early.
Yeah.
And it was like the best they could do, and they really shouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
And it's so waste of money and all of that, or they weren't sweet. This was like heaven, and I was like, there you go, Debbie. You've got to. I used to manifest all throughout the day, and then I found myself, and it might be the same for you. We preach, we help, we do readings for, teach how to do it, and then we don't do it ourselves.
Yeah.
And I got out of all of that.
Yeah.
So now I'm flipping the switch back and do my candle spells and my manifesting and all of that. And so it started with the strawberry, but not a little one, big one. So I'm
Absolutely.
going to put those pictures because I was like amazed. I said, thank you to the universe. There's my sign to start manifesting in my own life,
Absolutely. Absolutely. And
Yeah.
it's good too when you start little like that, because I mean, I know sometimes people are thinking it's not working, it's not working. But then when you do something like that and it just shows up just like that, it's like that's a confirmation that you are actually doing it. So it's those little confirmations for those people out there that don't believe in, like just like the whole thing with work. Remember, I'm like, God, I need a job. I need to go back into work. I want to find something more I'm comfortable with. Boom. I'm tired sometimes,
That
but it's good.
December, you guys, Carla and I had goals,
Yeah.
and mine what happened to be a certain amount of money that was pretty big, and
Yeah.
Carla had this goal of a job, and we manifested, and it came right in. And it
Yeah.
was amazing. But don't discount manifesting for something big for the first time you ever do it, because
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I didn't believe in manifesting. This lady, I was this chick to drink, and she goes, "Just tell the universe what you want, and it comes." And I'm like, church library, and some. Well, and I was driving home and I said, like, what did she do? And then I immediately went and manifested and uh, for a husband. And the guy that I asked for came right in. It was just like insane crazy. Kimmy, we're cutting out because it's Facebook. Facebook is showing me that they're having a problem.
Oh, you know what? I know. I saw that. I was thinking, I'm like, I hope it's not me. I keep checking my life.
Yeah.
This is
No, we dropped from Facebook.
it's
Yeah.
beautiful. Yeah,
Sometimes
I took my
Facebook has a
Facebook off.
problem.
Yeah, I took my
I've
Facebook off too, or my Facebook off too.
Oh, yeah, I could take some stuff off, but I'm not on Facebook. Sometimes we have to make sure we're doing that. But I've got full signal here,
Yeah,
and so Facebook will have a little thing up there, and they're having some difficulties. That happens sometimes. Sometimes YouTube will drop, and
yeah,
we've been really lucky with YouTube. So that's good. So you guys, please go ahead and manifest, and you can say, "Universe, I want." There's a blank. Fill it in. Just
yeah,
fill it in. Then be in gratitude. Feel that feeling of gratitude. Thank you,
absolutely.
thank you, thank you. I have a friend right now that he's looking for a job. Everything is negative. Everything is negative. Not going to want. I don't want to work for them anyway. Back to me or whatever.
Yeah,
Doubt that I'm going to do it. I don't have the qualifications. All this stuff, and I'm thinking, all these times that you're telling me and you're not getting the job, did you think about trying the positive approach?
absolutely,
Yeah,
absolutely.
we need to do that. to go and to think, yes, we're going to get it, to see yourself, doing it. And that's a good thing when you're interviewing, that you just sit. There are accounts of people that have sat down the day before an interview and gone over seeing them go in, what they were wearing, sitting down, what were the questions that
Mhm.
they're coming out on top, and what the person looked like and everything. And they go in the next day and they're wearing the same clothes. People are wearing the same clothes. Everything goes along that way.
Yeah.
So we need to go ahead and do that and bring in the good stuff. And this is a time, because we are really over uh, the long haul of this COVID thing. We're going to be coming to an end. Everybody hang in there.
Yeah.
And so why not now? Let's bring the time is coming for, if you lost your job through COVID or anything, now's the time to bring that in.
Yeah.
We need to bring in everything you want. I manifested a car. I got it for free. It was a Camaro. It was vintage. It had 19,000 miles on it, and I got the keys to it. And that is from putting it on my vision board. So if you go, well, I need a car, let's manifest for that car to come in. Let's manifest for the job, anything that you want. And don't feel selfish. Don't think that little things won't happen or come, or big things won't come.
Yeah.
They will. It's amazing what you
Absolutely.
can do. And
Absolutely.
yeah, and the money and everything. I have the stories that people come in all the time saying that they manifested this huge thing or these little things and they came in. So if I can manifest a strawberry, that's
Yeah.
that big.
Yeah. Definitely.
You can, how
Yeah.
are you? He's saying hi to everybody.
Yeah. Hi, Carlos.
So
Yeah. Absolutely. And you know what they even say? You can like helping to manifest is like you're sitting in that new car or whatever. You're changing the radio station, or you're that new car smell kind of thing. Yeah. Put yourself there. Put yourself
oh
there
yeah.
in that driver's seat, and that helps too.
There's one called scripting. So we can go ahead, scripting and journaling. And journaling can be, I'm blessed because of this, that, and the other. But you can also aim it for the future. I'm blessed that I have that new car. I'm blessed that I got it in blue. I'm blessed that it takes me where I need to go. I'm blessed that it saves me on gas, whatever it is. But
Yeah.
scripting is when you sit down and you write and you go, I just love my new car. It's so
Yeah.
comfy. And I love driving it and putting all the windows down. So glad it's a convertible. And
Yeah.
it took me to work today, and I just you know, just love driving it so smooth. Whatever, it's scripting what you want to happen. And
Absolutely.
the first time I heard about that is when my girlfriend wanted to meet a celebrity, and so she scripted the story. Now, did it go 100%? No, but even better. So she scripted herself being able to go to the concert and going backstage and meeting him and getting a picture
Oh
you
wow.
know? Yeah. And
Yes.
she saw herself in the t-shirt, his t-shirt.
Yeah.
She saw herself. So all of a sudden, she got the opportunity to go to dinner with someone who had tickets to the concert. So she put that shirt on with a nice jacket, knowing that what she scripted she was going to get. But the
Yeah.
guy, it was his birthday. And so he was eating and eating and eating. And then he ordered dessert. And she's going, holy heck, we're going to miss this concert. Well, they were close on time for sure. And they got there, and it was just one song left. One. And she goes, well, I'm here, and I know I'm going to be able to go backstage like I scripted and get a picture with him. And so what happened was the guy snuck away and came back with backstage passes.
Oh
And
wow.
yes. And he worked for or owned or whatever a radio station. And so he got those. And so she goes, yep, I scripted it, and I'm going to go back and get the photo with him. And so what happened was they got to go back, and she couldn't get near the guy entourage people, groupies,
Oh yeah.
whatever. No way to get a picture with them, nothing. She was so disappointed. And the guy that they there, we're back.
Oh.
I see that there's something wrong with it. You know, that happens occasionally with websites and stuff like that. So Facebook is having something. I still show that we're good on our end with our signal. They're having a night. So, or maybe the other side doesn't want me to tell the story because it's so
I don't
wonderful
know.
that you can manifest for this.
Yeah.
So what happened is that they went back and they didn't see any, she said no limos, no SUVs with blacked out windows, nothing. So they went in and their friend was in the back and he went back there and he heard the TV on. And so what happened is that he said, well, come on in here. And there was the celebrity all by himself, not a manager, not an entourage,
Oh, wow.
nothing. He was there by himself. And he was watching an HBO boxing special. And so she was introduced as his biggest fan. He said, would you like to sit and watch the boxing match with? So there you go.
So what
she
if
got
she
even more? She got.
So what if she?
So what'd you say?
I'm all, what if she didn't like boxing? She's like, no, I'm good. I'm gonna go.
Oh, she doesn't care. She gets to sit next to this guy.
Yeah.
Should I tell you who the guy was?
I think you have once before. I'm not sure.
I did. Is it Kendrick Lamar? And I didn't know who he was at all, or what he did, or anything. And I go, well, she's got a picture of him on the shirt. Yeah. So and
nice.
they had a really good time together. So
yeah,
the deal is that you've got to manifest what you want. There's, I'm telling you guys, if you do want to copy my book, Many Ways of Manifesting, just PM me at Psychicfixes or write to psychicfixes@gmail.com and I'll give it to you because it changes your life.
yeah.
And I give it to you. That means for free. It's got all the methods. There is no book that you go that says like, method number 1 is scripting. Method number 2 is, commanding energy or whatever, or vision boards. I got them all plus EFT and all those. And I'll give it to you. How's that? Carlos says, love Kendrick Lamar. Love
I don't know who that is.
his music. I don't know of his music before. But anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I had no idea.
Yeah.
But then I looked him up and I went, "Oh my gosh!"
Maybe if I see him, I'll know who he is. But I don't know who he is. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I do. Maybe I don't. I don't know.
Carlos, is he? Oh, he's a rapper. I was going to say, is he hip hop? What is he? He's a rapper. Yeah.
Yeah. I listen
pretty
to
famous.
Music. I listen to country music. Yeah. There's nothing wrong. I used to listen to rap. I used to listen to many different genres, but I listen to country music.
I'm not country music. I'm so like the oldies because
Really?
I am.
Yeah, but that's true. I love all genres. I just can't. Not today's rap. It's not rap. I don't know.
I love rap. I wish that they all had clean words in it.
Yeah,
I love it. I really do.
Yeah.
But
yeah, Faith
love
Hill,
country music.
Yeah.
As well, Faith Hill.
Yeah, I like a lot of the stuff with Tim McGraw and his wife in Faith Hill. Yeah, I like that. That's pretty. It's good stuff.
There we go.
Good.
Cactus says they're manifesting things finally coming through the family.
I love it.
Fantastic. How do you manifest?
Yeah, that whole family is in the flow right now.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
You guys, how do you manifest?
Oh,
yeah.
I love the Dixie Chicks too.
I don't know.
Love the Dixie Chicks. That's my jam. I seen them in concert many moons ago, and it was the best concert besides Willie Nelson that I'd ever seen in my life. They are awesome performers. I love their music. It's so wholesome. I love it. I love it.
So I was at Neil Young. So that's my vibe, you guys.
I like it. I like it. I like Leon.
Kristen, we may do some readings at the end, but tomorrow's the all-hour free readings from when we start to we finish.
Yeah.
Let's do Kimmy here. Questions for us. When a person commits suicide, do they cross over?
9 out of 10 times, I would say no.
You know what? And I agree with you because Carla, people that anybody that dies, a lot of them may not cross over, and so I'm going to tell you, I don't believe that there's any going to purgatory. I don't think they can't get into heaven. None of that. I don't believe in any of that. Okay, but if they're distraught and there's nobody there to bring them over or coax them over and cross, then they can still be depressed and they still can be stuck. And so that's why it's like so sad that we come across these people that have done that, and then we work towards getting them to cross over to the other side. But no, they could cross. You know what? When we get to the point, I am going to say this. In the Bible, it says that God doesn't give you anything that you can't handle. Mm-hmm. Then I always say, then what about suicide?
Yeah.
What are you talking about? Because there's suicide. Of course, there's things we can't handle. Yeah. Life.
Yeah.
So that may be translated wrong or whatever, but if we decide that we're going to do that, it's not a sin or anything. It's a mental health. It's environmental. It's that things get to us and we can't handle it. Mm-hmm. And we're ready to go. Hormones. We look at the teenagers. My boyfriend left me. I'm offing myself. Come on. So there's a lot of things involved in suicide. So when they get over, if things are right, then the people come, be it an angel, a guide, an ancestor, whatever, and the people can cross over. But if they're tormented because there's so many that will have the vibration going and the energy going, and they are, angry or they're sad or they're whatever, then there's going to be a problem. Let's look at murders. When somebody kills another person and they're out of anger and they're mad and they shoot their significant other and then they shoot themselves. So look at the feelings, of, maybe they're going to just not know what they did. Maybe they're going to feel terrible. Maybe they don't want to go to the other side. To me, there's the opportunity to go, just like for us, an opportunity to stay. Yeah. And we don't want to stay. We just don't. But they do that stuff.
I've seen some of the ones that I've seen, the ones I've spoken with, they stay in limbo, and it's unfortunate because they get to a point to where they do die. And then they realize they regret it. They want to come back. They want to negotiate. They want to be like, no, I made a mistake. I want to go back. But there's no coming back. So they stay in limbo.
Yeah. They stay by things that are familiar.
Yeah, familiar. They go back to what's familiar. So a lot of people, a cousin of mine, his son, his friend, my cousin's friend, his best friend, his son died suddenly. And he wasn't ready to go. He wasn't. And he was in limbo. He was lingering. I think he was in a car accident or something. That's all I remember was seeing a car. But what happened was that he, something had happened. And he just, when they die like that quick and they're just jolted out of their bodies, they're like, wait, what? Some of them don't even know that they're dead. Some of them don't even know that they've crossed over, that they're dead, and that they're just kind of hanging out. They're like, perfect example, a friend of mine, or like my buddy, the one that we just went to right now, Keith and I were at the house, and he asked me to go to his house to look at because he has activity in his house. So when I talked to him a few weeks ago, I told him, I said, I could see a lady standing there and she's just crying. Oh, Debbie's gone.
I'm here.
Oh, okay. Okay. So the lady was just standing there, and I see this lady, and she's just holding her head in her hands and she's crying. Well, he's like, I want you to come by and I want you to see what's up. And I'm like, I can see it from right here. And, when I seen him, and I'm like, I don't know why she's crying. I'm like, she's just crying, So anyways, tonight when we went over there, he's like, I was standing there and she saw that I was looking at her, but there's a lady that lives there as well. And I told my buddy, I said, the lady that lives here sits on the right side of the couch. And I see this lady, this spirit, bending over, talking to her, like, why can't you hear me? Why can't you help me? Why? Why? And Art's like, okay, the lady does sit on the right side of the couch. And I'm like, okay, but she's talking to her. Like right now, I go, I think the lady is in the kitchen. I haven't been in the house at all. I haven't been in the house. And I told Art, I said, I think the lady, the live lady is in the kitchen right now. And the lady's like, she can see me. Why can't you see me? Why can't you hear me? Because they're both elderly. Well, what happened was what I can piece together is that the lady had died close to where they were married for like many, many moons, her and her husband. Her husband died, and then she died short after. And she's like, he said he'd wait for me. He said he'd wait for me. Kind of one of those things that he would never, kind of like the Notebook kind of story. I think she got lost in limbo. I think he got lost, or she got lost. So I keep seeing this lady, like when I was standing there, and I told Keith, I'm like, come here. And I'm like, there's a lady, she's standing at the front door inside the house, and she's like, open the door. So like the spirit is like going to open the door, but her hand goes through the doorknob, so she can't get out. So Art's like, go open the door. My buddy, he's like, go open the door for her. He's all, go in and release her. I'm like, there's people in the house. I don't want him to freak out. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because people are going to be like, what is she doing? They may not be cool with what I'm doing, right? So I told them,
like, come on, fly, go out.
Yeah. And I'm like, but I think she's going to be a little, not hysterical, but the first word that comes, my grandmother says, yeah, she's going to be hysterical because she doesn't want to leave because she's waiting for her husband.
Right.
So she won't leave the house because she thinks she's waiting for him. And she says, I can't open the door because she thinks he's on the other side. So sometimes when you try and help cross over a spirit and they get like scared and they don't know and no. So when I go Thursday, I think Keith and I are going to go, but we're going to go and we're going to help her to cross over, to help her to open the door by herself, but assist her in that, but then bring her husband in, and then they'll be able to find each other again. But she's been there for like 25, 30 years. I don't think she knows it. Yeah, I don't think she knows it. But I told Art, I told my buddy, I said, you know what, man, invite her in. Invite her in, like where you're at, talk to her. Cause he says he knows that she's there. So I told him, I said, you know what, talk to her, man, ask her if she wants a beer or something to relax. He's like, yeah, whatever. But I'm like, because she's like, he's noisy, he's loud, because he's got motorcycles and stuff like that. It's just funny stuff. But so anyway, so Thursday we're going to go and we're going to help him because she's been there for so long. But see, she doesn't know she's been there for so long. She's just replaying it over and over again. So sometimes that's what happens. Like it's total Beetlejuice. It's a total Beetlejuice syndrome. They don't know that they're there until like, boom, one day, they're just like, holy crap, I've been here forever. Plus, I like to say like the movie Ghost. It is similar because how he's killed so fast, so quickly. He's like jumps out of his body, but he doesn't know that he's dead. So it's
just like the others with Nicole Kidman. The others,
I've never seen it.
Oh my gosh! They live in the house and everything, and they know there's ghosts. Well, they're the ghosts. Oops, blew it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, then I'm going to check it out. It's like Beetlejuice. Yeah. It's similar to that same premise, right? So I'll have to watch it. But you know what? I don't really care for Nicole Kidman. But anyways, that's just my preference.
Go watch it.
I'll watch it. I'll check it out. But so Kimmy, to your question, it's like sometimes they just stay in limbo. I mean, it all depends. Unless they're found or somebody crosses them over, you know what? Yeah, they can. They can. I mean, not in a bad way, but sometimes some of them get aggressive. Some of them will, because they're like this lady. I told my buddy, I'm like, she paces the hallway back and forth. I'm like, so you might hear like footsteps. She's like, I don't think I do. And I'm like, trust me. I'm like, she's walking up and down the hallway. She's pacing back and forth because she's waiting for her husband. But at the other times when they're aggressive, that's when they start moving stuff. You know, they get like, you can feel them. They get kind of like all up in you. They let you like start seeing them because they're like getting aggressive. They're like wanting your attention. So that gets kind of crazy. It depends on how like aggressive they are, I guess.
Well, I wear my hair up when I go to the cemetery. It's up, pinned up, because I will always have somebody in the group go, "Whoa,"
Yeah. Yeah.
or they get tapped, touched on the arm or something like
Yeah.
that. Yeah, luckily everybody's been fine about that, because if you're going to go with me to the cemetery, especially at the end, that's when they touch them as they go out. But they
Yeah.
will pull your hair. So I'm like, yeah, I have my hair up because I don't need any of that. And Kath, let's see, Allie says, who is the man behind you with a knife? What do you mean?
Not today. Not today. I don't know. Nobody.
Here we go.
Maybe he's gonna make me a sandwich. Is that a butter knife? No, there's nobody behind me. No, but so anyway, so the lady's like super sweet. So Thursday we'll go over there and we'll handle that. But I know I told my buddy, I'm like, you can't be here either, because she might be I don't know. It all depends. Sometimes they get aggressive, when you help them cross over because they don't want to go. They fight a little bit. They kind of become.
Yeah, we have had been pushed in the cemetery, really, really angry,
Yeah.
Spirits. And as I've said before, I remember this one time that I had an empath. Sometimes, people have to know if they can do this or not. And I had an empath that was very sweet, very, very sweet girl. And she got into talking with this male spirit that was super angry, and she ended up on the ground and she was sobbing and she was a wreck. And I thought, oh, you can't do this anymore. This is like too crazy. So anyway, you have to, if you can't take care of yourself, then you bring somebody in. There's that's for Carla.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. Yeah, but you know what? There's so many different I mean, it depends. It depends on exactly where they are. I mean, seriously, I've seen some that time when I was with Chris and Janine, and we went to that what is it called? That Kara Knott Memorial, and there was that mom.
My
that
least favorite place on the in the world.
That place was horrible, and I helped cross over that lady, that young lady that was murdered with her pregnant child, and she found her baby, and all these effects happened. I didn't see them because my eyes were closed, but Chris seen it, and she was there the entire time.
You guys, if you're interested in that, Karen Knott Memorial, you can Google that and search for it, and it'll show you pictures and stuff. And the vibes there are so creepy. I hate going there. And when I do meetups, I go to the places and stuff. And when the girls go, well, let's go do that, because they love going there, I'm like, I hate this.
Yeah,
there's so much horrible paranormal activity, and
I drive by there every single day when I go to work, when I go at the hospital. And when we went there, because I don't know if you guys have seen the show, but anyways, long story short, on the way out, there was this big, huge, dark thing that was like chasing us out to make sure that we left. And I was like this, because I was in the back behind Janine, in the back on the right side. And there's this thing, and it's just chasing us like this big black shadow, dark, huge dark thing, and it's chasing us, and it had red freaking eyes, and it's chasing us. And it's like, don't you come back, don't you come back. And it was not even necessarily them, it was just me. And I was like going, and I was just like, Jenny wasn't driving. What's her name was driving?
Chris.
Chris was driving. And as we get to the very end, it stops because it can't leave the property for whatever reason. It's weird. It can't leave the property. So it stood there until we pulled out and we left. This is the thing that freaks me out. Well, it doesn't freak me out. It's just like, whatever. But every time I go to work and when I come home, when I'm driving on the freeway, when I get to where, like, that gap in the freeway where that all happened.
Yeah, they have the old freeway, you guys.
Yeah.
The old freeway stops where she was thrown off by the police officer.
Yeah.
And then you can continue up on North 15.
Yeah. And so every time I drive by there, on my way to work and on my way home, that thing right away just pops up and it's like, keep going. It knows that. It knows when I drive back and forth. Yeah. I always like feel a little sick to my stomach. Yeah.
I think that there are entities that are bound. Okay.
They're
connected and stuck.
Yeah.
And they got boundaries but they're tied to that property and what they did or what happened there.
Well, yeah, absolutely. And there's people that go there because there's that freaking gazebo that's there. And
I can't. This is like the worst place ever.
People go in that gazebo with a damn Ouija board and start BSing around. And that day that we were there was the minute that I got out of the truck, I got out of the passenger door, and Janine had already started the video. I get out of my side of the back on the right, and I'm like, I get out and I look up, and there's these freaking gray things coming, swinging from tree to tree. They're coming up, and then I just kind of scooch over to the back. I wasn't scared. I was just like, am I seeing what I'm really seeing? And they just swoop like monkeys, just coming really fast. I went around the car. I came back. I met Chris at the driver's door, and I'm like, Chris, am I seeing those gray things coming up? I'm like, are those gray things in the trees coming up, and why are they breathing? So, and she goes, they're there. You're seeing what you're seeing. That is exactly what you're seeing. And I was like, oh shit. And then after that, I was just kind of like, they kind of like just followed us. They didn't interfere. They just kind of like watched. They were like little warrior monkeys or something, like weird. But then when we were walking on the trail, there's like a bunch of rocks dedicated to people that have passed on. It's a very sad. It's sad.
It's not like uplifting sunshine memorial. There's so much dark in there. And when I first start, it's like going through the apocalypse. When you drive down there and I go, holy, it just comes and it gets you, and it's so creepy, and I don't want to be there.
Yeah.
I just don't want to be there.
And underneath that gazebo, so when we were there was these three dudes. They were sitting there, young kids sitting there doing whatever, whatever young kids do these days. They were sitting there in the gazebo, and we're walking around. And as I look to the left like this, I can hear this freaking growl. Underneath the gazebo, there was this, like, I don't know if I always say devil dog or something, but it was like big, and it was just like trapped. It was it was trapped under the gazebo, but it was growling, and it was pacing back and forth. It was pacing back and forth, like if it could get out, it would get us. Yeah, it was so weird. And
many times I would see. Many times, all that stuff happening, things going fast, things walking up, men that weren't there, real. On the street and stuff like that. The freakiest thing was sitting there with just one other person and me, and she's communicating with frogs because there's a pond right there, and they're so loud. Then she starts asking questions and telling them to be quiet if this is like a yes, and they just like silence. And I couldn't believe it. I've never seen anything. Then she'd say, now, if you're whatever, have the frogs talk again. And the frogs would get really loud. Yeah. And it went over and over and over. And I'm like, oh my God, I can't wait to go home. Yeah. And I never want to be the last one out of there either. No way. And it was starting I want to be in my car and go.
Yeah. It was starting to get dark because when I did that, because when we first got there, we went on the bridge and I didn't know really anything about it. I knew what had happened. I knew it had happened, but I didn't know like exactly what had happened. And Chris had asked me, she goes, what do you see? And so when I closed my eyes, I told her what I saw. And then she was just like, that's what they're saying, what really truly happened. And I'm like, holy crap. But the thing about it was that the father built that for her.
Yeah.
And he died there. He had a heart attack and died there.
Mm-hmm.
So what I saw when I was there was that she's trapped there, he's trapped there, and they can't find each other.
Oh, Lord.
And that's what was really sad, because he's looking for her. So he's on this endless, I mean, in life and in death. So, I mean, but there's like, it's like they're keeping them apart. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
The sad thing is, these are for all victims, even children, of crimes. And then they have a walkway of the police officers. And it's so horrible and sad. And you'll go there and the people have been doing, smoking dope and stuff. They'll leave their paraphernalia, doll heads, creepy, and leave them in the trees. But when I was there, I walked out of the gazebo and there was a police officer. And so I got his name and everything and the story and all of that. And I was telling everybody there. And to the people that were just kind of coming along, they were interested, looked him up and found him and sent me the guy's photo. I had his name, everything. And I thought, how sad. Don't be there.
Yeah.
You were killed. He needs to be crossed over, type of thing.
Yeah.
But why? There's not just spirits, you guys. There's evil stuff.
Yeah.
So we can't all say that it's an evil spirit. There's these other entities that exist.
They were never people. Yeah.
Yeah, right. They're never people. We just like a shadow person or something, the Gumbys, the Scrabblies. None of these were it. And my feeling that there can be portals with things that come in also can be that when there's sadness, grief, murders, and terrible things that happen, that creates an energy.
Yeah.
And that energy can seek out other energy and get bigger.
Yeah, absolutely.
And and it just gives me the creeps. And I really am going to say right now, even though that's what I do with Meetup and I take them to these places, I'm not going to go there ever again.
Yeah, you know what? I wouldn't, you know what? And my thing too is that I said that I would go back and I would help them. But you know what? I can't do it by myself. I was like, when I really looked at the whole energy thing there's like, no way. It's like, it needs an exorcism, a priest, a shaman. I mean, it
everybody.
It can't be. I mean, even if you were to burn it down,
huge.
It wouldn't even. It wouldn't solve nothing. It wouldn't. Yeah, it wouldn't solve anything.
It's just that you guys on creep factor of feeling like the vibe is bad and being scary and just kind of being alive, because that's what the vibe I get is like this, and bad evil stuff all over the vibe.
Yeah.
And so that's where I take my hat off to Janine and Chris that can go out there over and over.
Yeah.
And the other people, but I'm just like, I don't know if I'm more sensitive to it or what, but I go, it's not worth anything to walk into that when there's so much of it. And when you go with a lot of people, you have some non-believers that don't care about protection, and they're just there to be scared, have fun, experience. Somebody brought them, whatever. They're no help to you.
Yeah. And you know what? And I can guarantee you a lot of people that go there and they just BS around, I can guarantee you something's attached to them one way or another and went along for the ride, because when we got there, before we even went on the grounds, I think we said an opening prayer, because I was like, the minute we got off the freeway, I was like, oh shit. And then when we pulled in, I was just like, we said a prayer before we left. I mean, we said a prayer. We did the Palo Santo. I mean, she did all the way around the car. We said, you know what? Nobody could come along. We could, but that
no hitchhikers.
no hitchhikers. But that thing chased us out like on the side of the. I mean, I can still see it right now.
Oh man,
it's visible.
Really?
They don't care. Yeah, I can still see it.
Did he go to the gate? Did he get to the end of the road?
He got all the way to the gate where it says right there.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, he got all the way to the gate, but then that's where he stopped, and he's just like never come back. It was the
Oh
weirdest.
Lord.
Because I asked the girls, I'm like, "Do you guys see this thing running?"
I
I'm
know.
like, "You see anything running next to us?" And they're like,
That's the funniest thing you say that, because whenever we're doing the investigating and stuff, like I saw Gumbies. So Gumby's like a little shadow person. One that is if will be around if there's scratching or biting.
"Yeah,
you know and I go, oh shoot. And I'm looking,
yeah,
and I go, shoot, there's a Gumby. And then up came someone that was kind of new to me, and she came right to my ear and she says, do you see what I see? And I go, yeah, I'll go take care of it. So I always have a bag, you guys, of, I call it scrabbly juice. So any kind of salt, some wild rose seed, or mix in sage, any of the
yeah,
great protective stuff, stick it in there.
yeah,
And then, and I'm very thoughtful if there's going to be wild animals or pets or anything about, but nothing. I was, at the mortuary thing, and I go,
yeah,
nobody's going to be
yeah,
here. No. And so I just throw it at them and say a prayer. Always put your
yeah,
intention in what you're doing, on whose authority are you doing this, and just
yeah,
throw that around. And then it just went away. But we were doing that all the time, going and say, do you guys see over there? And they'll go, yeah. Or the shadow guys are running. One part of Dearborn Cemetery is where the shadow people are. They shadow men, but shadow people. And they stay over there, and they tend to just walk across. I don't ever see them. I've seen a Gumby on the other side, but
mhm.
I've never seen that. But some of the people will see them run and run across the whatever. And I'm like, kind of interesting. Like they're not allowed to go in the rest of the cemetery.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, it's like they're. I think some of them get like blocked to a certain area, or they're just like pinned to a certain area. Like somebody that knew, like was there, and they're like not allowed. Just like that one corner at that one cemetery in Old Town. That one cemetery, that old cemetery where that guy
Yes.
got
Is
hung
that
in
where
that
the
really house.
caretaker is? The caretaker?
Yeah, yeah, in that one
Yeah.
corner. Remember that thing I told you that came after Keith that one time, and I'm like, whoa, whoa, yeah,
I
that one.
know.
Yeah,
I
absolutely, it's
know.
scary stuff. That I mean, well, we went to Old Town what, like a week ago or something, 2 weeks ago, something like that, and the Whaley house, like it's so quiet, they love it. That Mrs. Whaley's like, I love it. I love the silence. I don't like people in my house because they don't like it.
Mm-hmm.
And it was really weird because Keith and I were standing there, and I'm like, he's like, I wonder if she likes it that nobody's there. Some we start just
Mm-hmm.
talking whatever like that, and then I look in the window, and then the curtain goes. The curtain opens, and then she's just like, and then the curtain closes. I'm like, look at the curtain, look at the curtain. I'm like, you see the curtain move? And it's locked. There's nobody in there at all. There's nobody in there.
Right.
So then the curtain moved again. He's like, holy crap, the curtain just moved. And I'm like, she doesn't like anybody there. She just answered your question. She loves the silence. She doesn't like people trampling through her house. She's like, they're dirtying my floors. I mean, they love the silence. They don't like people in their privacy.
Right.
She's like, we don't want to be a museum anymore. They never have wanted that.
Yeah.
So,
Well, when I was there, I was upstairs, and I was with a really great medium from back east. And he says, now look at the drapes. The windows are all closed and the drapes are going like this.
yeah,
And then he'll look and he says, now look over there. And you see this. And you'll go
yeah,
back. And he says, look there. He says, there's a little dog, a little white dog. And it's
yeah,
running back and forth. So when we went downstairs to the docent, I said, so what's with the little little white dog, or little dog that's running around? She goes, oh, that's dog. I think Dolly, their dog.
oh
And people
wow,
see it in there. And that was a hoot. But we went through the whole thing, and I didn't feel really too much it was the way of entities. And he says, come here. We went in the other room. He says, you see this lady here? And she's here. That was Mrs. Whaley. He
yeah,
says, she's here. Nobody else is.
yeah,
So he went out to where the people got hung, and he goes, nobody's here.
yeah,
Nobody's here.
yeah,
So, because you kind of think that, and of course, when it's an attraction.
yeah,
And a lot of times when we want to cross over, I go do a lot of things. I want to cross over somebody. Well, the people, the owners, they get a benefit from having it haunted. So they
Of
don't
course
want
they
us to
do.
cross anybody.
Of course they do. Just like the
Yeah.
people that bought the, what do you call it? That girl, the axe girl.
Oh yeah, Lizzie Borden house.
Yeah, just like the Lizzie Borden house. Like we saw a show, what was it? The Dead Files. They did a show,
Oh.
and I can't remember what it was, but I remember they had a special about that. And when she went in there, she's like, "Oh no, get rid of that." She's like, "There's a Ouija board. Something's not right here." Well, that's what they did. They play a little game for the people that they rented out. They're being, their bedrooms, whatever. They rent it
Oh
out,
no.
and they tell people, "Oh, find a Ouija board." Blah blah blah. They play games with them. So the Ouija board, it's pretty much a freaking portal that they have in there,
Yeah.
and it
Yeah.
pisses off the spirits in there. But she said that there's another woman that's in there. So I mean, just that whole sensitivity thing of just keeping that attraction open, because it's all for the money. So my
Yeah.
whole thing is that when it comes to spirit, you and I both agree on, you have to respect spirit. This is not the right way to do it. If people, I mean, who are we to keep people here when they want to just cross over and rest? I mean, it could
Right.
be anybody's family member. It could be, I mean, if somebody, oh my gosh, now my grandmother started. No, and I was like, oh no, you have no right to do that. Because she, that you have to respect your elders. You have to respect. That's how my grandmother talks. And it's funny because she's just like, oh no. She's like, these youngsters, they don't know. They don't have no respect. It's all money, 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 money. So see, now she got started.
But I do believe that it's up for sale now. If I saw the thing right, so maybe it didn't work out for them.
Oh, really? You know why? You know why? You know why it didn't work out for them? Because they completely disrespected it. And you know what? That's what Amy told them. You keep doing these things, it's going to come and get you. Because
Ugh.
they invited other things besides. It's not just
Oh
Lizzie
yeah,
Borden in there.
let's open a portal now. Come on in.
Yeah, I mean, Lizzie Borden's in there. She's walking around. She's doing her thing. She's just kind of whatever, right? But they're inviting other stuff because people that have gone in there, people that go and stay the night, oh, I have a Ouija board. People are doing stupid stuff in there.
Yeah.
And then you get the owners on top of that. Oh, find the Ouija board. And she knew where it was. She's like, no, there's something completely wrong in this room and I don't like it. So then the guy goes over there like a ding dong. He moves the couch away from the wall because she told him there's something wrong with your wall over here. He moved the couch back and there was a freaking Ouija board under the couch. She goes, see that? That's not cool. You are taunting spirit, many spirits, and you don't know what you're getting yourself into. So if it's the same couple that had it, she's like, well, we'll take your advice. At the end of the show, well, thanks for coming out.
No, we're making money.
Yeah, she's all thanks. Yeah, now we're making more money because Amy was here, from the show. But see, my whole way of thinking is that if it was me, and no disrespect to any of them, I wouldn't have even done the show. Because why would I give them that? You know what I mean? That's just my whole way of thinking. I would have never aired it. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's talk about those because we're almost out of time. Those other things. I've had people come to me. I mean, very lucid people that seem very reputable and everything, and tell me that they have seen, like, in a doorway. This one guy said a man that had like a lion head in a man's body, all kinds of stuff. These are people that are, and he was Native American, by the way, people that that you take for granted that they're not crazy and that they're telling you what they really see and stuff. So we have so many different things out there that you can't even imagine what people have told me what they've seen. And so we have to be careful in where we're going to go. There's so many people out there that are up for those haunted houses, and I can't wait to go do this, that, and the other. And they really need to be careful. And even so, it's kind of crazy to go into some place without having anyway, and not having any protection with you also.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah.
Absolutely. My grandmother says that might have been like what he's seen. That's kind of like an ancestral message of stand in your power, be strong, because you know how they have the totem animals, those kind of things. So he might have been having some issues, some weak moments at that time, maybe some inner issues going on where he just wasn't really trusting himself, or just some, not inner demons, that's not fair to say, but just some like inner things he needed to work out, but to just step forward and do it.
Yeah.
Just do it.
It manifested because the wife saw it too. Both of them. And so that's when you're like, hello, what's going on? And with Amy, I don't watch the Dead Files. I don't tend to have time to watch any of that stuff. And I find her to be very credible. Yeah. These guys that go out, I don't find them to be credible at all. No. When they go, oh, the ball moved. I mean, that's about, it's like watching Oak Island. What the hell? Are you going to ever find anything?
That's what Keith
said. The metal detector went, oh, we found this old nail.
Yeah.
Yes. Like, let's put it in the archive.
And then they freak out. Why are you scared? That's your job. Isn't that the funniest thing? It's like, why are you getting scared? And, oh my God, they freak out. And it's like, dude, why are you freaking out?
They scream and run. Yeah. And I go, where are you going?
Yeah.
I've never screamed and run. I've had a couple people run.
Yeah.
But, there's a couple people like, if they run, you better run. You better run with them.
Well, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And Antoinette, we're ready to go. We've done our hour. And tomorrow is 1 hour of free readings. Woo-hoo. So yes. I've got another necklace and T-shirt I think left over. We better get that away.
Really? Oh my gosh, let's do it.
Well, we need to give away. It's a St. Patrick's Day coming. Yes. So we need to. Yeah. And finally, everything's mailed out to everybody except for Candy. If I see her, I'll mention it again, see if she can't get a hold of me. But everything's mailed off to everybody.
Yeah.
So you'll be here tomorrow. Good, Antoinette. We'll start at 6:30 p.m. Pacific, and we're going to do 1 whole hour of tomorrow, 1 whole hour of readings. So it'll be our pleasure to do it. But we need to get going. And this was a lot of fun. I'm like, yes. So everybody be careful out there. Get Protective Magic. It's on Amazon. You'll need it. All right, you guys. Okay.
All right, good night.
Say good night.
Thank you.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.
Oh, and Jeanette, you're welcome.